Hello guys, welcome back to our channel guys. So good evening, good morning and good afternoon everyone. So yeah, as you can see in my previous video, we did structure of our plain architecture. So we have this solution that covers up and then yeah, inside the source folder, we have created our the core, which is the domain. This is the in clean architecture, this is the core project. We just call it domain. And we have infrastructure and the application and the presentation and then our web API. All right. So we will be building e-commerce application, guys. So uh, for now, we'll just create entities in our entities folder. I will just put it in the call or the domain part. So let me create a folder name here. I just call it entities. So entities, this is anything. Um, yeah, let me visit our slide for in architecture. So we have something to follow, guys. So a minute. So this is the one. Yeah, as you can see here, guys. All right, so we are building a domain-centric approach to organizing dependency. So dependence on infrastructure concern is minimized and then focus on the domain logic. So let's say what are those um what belongs to the core project or the domain. So this is where you put the interfaces, what and implementing it is how. So we can put also aggregates like a master data relationship, value objects is on property, sample data, and we have entity, anything has identity. So it means to say this will be a persistent or database. And yeah, we can have domain services, domain exception, specification, validator, something like that. So we will create now an interface folder where we put all of our uh, strips. So under entities, guys, I will just create a subfolder. This will be common, which means to say that you can have a class that everyone can inherit. So, for example, we can have the base entity. So we'll have to create a class here, and we'll call it the base entity, something like that. So yeah, it's the class that if we define another entities, uh, for these commons, you can inherit this class, a common properties for everything. Just make it public, and then we can have a constructor here. This entity, uh, yeah, before the constructor, we define first the properties. For example, we can have integer ID. So this will be our primary key, integer ID. This will be primary key of every entities that we have, or this will be, yeah, that would be the table that will be when we apply migration, right? So we are using DDD, domain design, domain driven design, guys. So yeah, and then we can have also datetime. And new, I think this is C#12 already. C#12 already. You have property that it date only or datetime only. Okay, but now we are going to use datetime, nullable object. So when you see question mark or nullable, it's meant to say this property can accept a null value. So we can create it. If we can have that, can also have um, modified it. So this is for auditing, right? So we can have that audit modified it. And then I think we can have another property, and it will be type of string that will be modified, modified by something like that. And in the base constructor, when you inherit that, you can have modified date. You can set it to date time. We will use UC now. So by default, if you have that, you are not going to save it because we already put the value for that if we and then like that. All right. So this is our this entity class. You will just put it in the common, and then I think we need to create our. I was thinking what's to do next, but we also guys we need to create a new folder for model, or you can see models. It's just a model. Uh, yeah, we just put here to model. Create a class. For example, you start creating our user class for user, or we just the name. This is for our user to the system for the commerce. So we just name it commerce user or e-commerce. Let's just see. This is that user. So this users, guys, uh this class will have the users table, but we will be inheriting or using the Microsoft Identity user. But we just add some custom fields that we want. So that user, it will have a table that user later on. Later on, we can see how it is done. So we just make it as public. And then, as I said, we have to inherit or the identity user for this. But this identity user, we need to install. Oh my God. Identity user, I think, let me find first what's the necessary. So guys, before we can inherit identity, identity user. So we need to install first the dependency here, the NuGet package for our Microsoft ESP.NET Core uh, entity framework core. So let me just find it here. The property. All right, guys, come back, guys. So we need to either we can go from here, you got package and console manager. So just type the command install package. This is the Microsoft ASP.NET Core Identity Entity Framework Core. So if we don't specify the version, it will get the latest version. Let's see. It's installing. Why is that installing? Okay, I think I'm mistaken. Package manager. I should install it in. It should not install package. Why I'm installing the web API? Should that be here? So it's not installing yet. So the pipeline and stuff. So I will have to install it in my domain. All right. So go back. All right, guys. Wait, it's not installing here. I just can stop here, and I will just browse. From here, you can right click and uh, where's the manage you get package here? Oh, user secret startup independency. Right here, manage you get package, and we can just browse it instead of installing from the command prompt because it's not working. So we have to use this Microsoft Entity Framework. So version 8 already. So we will be using Entity Framework for version 8. So identity Entity Framework for version 8 also that we are going to use. So install here. I don't know why it's not working in the package man console, but it's working here in browsing. So anyway, um, yeah, so it's been installed now. And then because it's already installed, we can use now here. So this should be yeah, using Microsoft in ASP.NET Core Identity. So this is already have a user. When you start to create that, or we yeah, we can find it. You know what I'm talking about if we migrate, if we already go to migration. But uh but before that, I would like to put another property here. Aside from what the identity user provide already. So if you can just right click here, I think we can find on here identity user. Right? Uh, oh my God, what happened? Okay, just see later on. So for example, I will add mhm, we'll just add a string here. Uh, this will be commerce user ID, something like that. So we can have our unique identifier. So make this as required. Oh, there's something new property here. So we can have this field as well. Okay, so I think we are done with this. And the next thing that we need to do, right, guys? So in the infrastructure folder, guys, this is where we create our mm, data access layer. So we just have to create a folder here. I'll just name it as database. It's data or database. Let's just have the data. Okay. And then from that data, we will create our class, the DB context class. So to add new class here, and we just name it commerce, commerce DB context. All right, so this is our class to communicate with entity framework core, and not entity framework core. It will communicate to our database, and we'll be using SQL Server. All right, and from here also we will add the package or the dependency. You get package entity framework, or that will be the ORM that we will be using. So, of course, I will just search here the Microsoft that entity framework for from here. There is one. So browse. So we'll be using this one. And yeah, we are using the latest one. This is version 8 already. So we just installed it as well. Okay. So after installing it, you can see that we have now the package for Microsoft Entity Framework Core, and that is version 8 in our dependency under infrastructure folder. So yeah, aside from that, we need to install as well the SQL Server, the framework for SQL Server. So we just browse here. Now we're also using version 8. I think that's for now. And yeah, we just install the package later on if we need. Okay, so for now, we should have Microsoft Entity Framework Core and Microsoft Entity Framework or SQL Server. All right, guys, so we now configure our daily context. So this one, guys, we need to inherit from identity, identity, DB context, identity. So we need to inherit this, and that will be, we'll install the package sp.net identity entity pin more. I am using local because I already have it. And this one, guys, there's a parameter for that. Mm, the user, the role, the key, that the user. So we'll just have the user. We just pass the user that we just created. And maybe we just modify it as we go along that was really needed. Okay, so yeah, so let me just pass my that user here. Yeah, this one, and we should what? Why you cannot give the name face where the that user's coming from? It should be here, domain that entity that model. So let me just hardcode it here using the namespace. Yeah, like that. I think my domain is infrastructure is not inheriting from domain. So we should add the project in C here. That's the problem. Yeah, so that's the problem, guys. Should inherit it. Okay, from this one, uh, can have the sector. Um, this will be our can set our DB context option here. DB context, DB context options. This is an entity framework. So this the option to be used because you normally override. Yeah, just to create an instance of this class. Okay, so we just pass here the name of our data context, which is this one. Uh, pass here. Okay. And we just name this option variable. And we can inherit it from this option like that. So it means to say that we are inheriting from the entity framework itself. Yeah, that one. And you can add any properties here that you want. For example, you can set the wrapping. Yeah, it's just like this way. Since tracker query tracking behavior is query no tracking. That after that, guys, you can define your DB set. So DB set, we already have that user, and we can name this table as that users. So just pluralize it, and that's it. After we do migration, this will be the table name in our SQL server. All right, are you following, guys? So yeah, my son is also learning. He's listening on me. All right, so what's next we need to do is we set the, I think, we will just set our setting here. How can I do this? Okay, let me wait a minute, guys. I'm still thinking where to put my connection string. Okay, guys, so I think we just need to add upsetting here in the infrastructure table, folder, I mean. Infrastructure. So we add here offsetting the JSON file. So Add new item. This one will be using our JSON. So we just search JSON file. So let's see this one as upsetting,
I update
upsetting the JSON. So from there, we can have our connection string.
disconnect.
What?
You're doing? You deleted the shit.
Connection string. Need to add comma here.
Use it to let some strings.
Connection string, and that
Then
would be
this
like
disconnect.
that. And the name of our connection is
Daddy Thomas.
that grammar's con. And
Taco.
we set the value where should we connect. So
Dad Thomas, the Wi-Fi.
I have my SQL server here, so we just connect from here. But the fastest way is we have to copy.
Paste. Copy and paste.
I think this is my previous application that I already connected to our local DB. So I have this was in my previous video, guys. So I think you are following this video if you are
Trying
um,
to. I just
if you are
forget.
visiting my previous video in .NET 8, and I have yeah, this one. This is an introductory version, so I just copy it here. My connection string, this one. So this is my local machine. I'll just copy this one.
And paste.
So this is my SQL server that I'm talking about. So if I connect to my local, this is the one. And if you take a look on the database, guys, this is the test DB that we created before in my previous video. So I just put it here.
Copy paste.
Oh my God, what happened? I should just copy the source. Why?
Those 5 issues.
The source, this is the, or the server, that's my uh, laptop name. Initial catalog, guys, this will be your database name. It is not didn't created yet, so our database name would be
Then
dadcommerce DB.
connection.
Dadcommerce DB. Trusted connection is true. Multi-active result set is true, and trust server certificate equals true. Okay, we just put it as true. Instead, let's say for example, it need a certificate, so we just hard code it. So we will not create our certificate. Yeah. All right, I think this is for now. I think let's see, guys, if we can create the database. So all we have to do is we have to migrate issue migration. But before that, before we can issue migration, all right, let's go. We'll create a migration. Uh,
Migration.
the migration, guys, is will add your code to the database. Like for example, this one. This is the that user. So the property of this will become a table in our SQL server. So that's why we have to create or issue a migration command. So the command is add migration.
That
Uh, let's say the name is initdb. I enter that. Oh, I think the command is wrong. So add migration. My God, add migration is not recognized command. So I forgot what's the command for the add migration. I
So
think uh let me take a look. I think we need to install the Microsoft. So guys, I think we need to install as well this. So we can have the migration command. You have to install this NuGet package. Microsoft Entity Framework or tools. Outside. This is also version 8. So install that. After that install, we can have the migration command, I believe. Do you believe, Dave? Okay, we installed it and it's already in the package here. Where is it? This one, those. Okay, we go to our command and this should be like that. Oh, you got it right. So we are now creating the migration, guys. So if this is done, oh,
like
your project
this.
will be validation. Ah, no, no. Your startup project will be doesn't reference Microsoft
Try
or
again.
the package is required for entrepreneur to work.
Try
Ensure
again.
your project is correct. Install the package and try again. What? Microsoft the web API doesn't reference Microsoft Entity Framework for design. What is this talking about?
Look, it doesn't reference the
Oh my God, I should not put my migration in the domain. It should be in the infrastructure.
I entered it in.
I'm sorry for
Let me
that,
see.
guy.
We'll try again.
But he's talking that startup project. Why is talking startup project? I can just make this startup project for now. Let's see.
And then try again.
This is another issue. Unable to create a DB context of type. The exception unable to resolve service for type. Microsoft Entity Framework for DB context. While attempting to activate infrastructure data was thrown while creating the instance. Oh my God, what the hell is this? Why there are lots of errors? Where should I put my migration? It should be here.
The infrastructure.
Infrastructure.
How the
Yeah.
processes?
But the problem here is unable to create DB context of type. What are you talking about? Unable to resolve the framework DB context option. So you have a problem here?
It's a very hard problem to solve.
I think I will just omit this first. I think this is the problem. Let's try to
Try again. See.
let's just build this.
Build issues.
This
There.
is correct. DB context option on this one, right?
Again. Again. It's again.
Unable to resolve Microsoft Entity Framework or DB connection while attempting to activate infrastructure data was terminal. Oh my God, this we cannot do that because we forgot to add the configuration. So this one service dependency injection, we have to add the services here.
It will work.
Yeah, I think services that add DB context. This is because we don't have
Why
created
this?
this yet. Our DB context will be the name is
Two errors.
that commerce DB context. Then from this DB context, uh, yeah, you can have this DB context and pass the variable option. Option that will be a lambda expression, and you have to set the option that use SQL Server. Yeah, this is the database that we'll be using. And then we pass the configuration.
Entity type.
We cannot get the configuration here. How can? Where is that happening? I configuration. Extension at configuration. Okay, we need to add this as well.
There's also two errors.
So we need to add this package for the configuration. So we go from here.
When are you done start running C++?
This is not C++. This is C sharp. So we just add this package as well. Lots of packages that need to be applied.
Just two errors.
Then fluent assertion. We need the fluent assertion. That's it. I was wondering what happened to here. Configuration. We can just add here the I configuration. I configurations. Let me see. Maybe
So yeah,
configuration. Okay.
it's still errors. So just if you
And then this
database
one.
history.
Get connection string, and in a connection string, your
And
name is the app setting. This one.
that Thomas Tom.
And where is that?
And then
Set it here.
there's still errors.
And we need to add this.
And now
There's no error.
alright, let's try it.
And then yeah, I think from this one, because we already in our program says file, we already add this
Wait, there's
add
one error.
infrastructure. What is it's now what happened to this?
What's happening? I don't understand C sub.
Yeah, because we're adding a parameter, so it's expecting a parameter. So we should add that parameter in our program.cs files as well. So this should be builder that configuration.
Yeah. I know it's
Okay. So my son is 8 years old and is learning now. You have to watch my video before you watch this. Let's try our migration.
I started.
If it's work, then
It's not gonna work. I predicted the future.
what happened here? There's a problem. Unable to create a DB context of type. What's type?
I don't know.
Able to create a context of type. The extension able to resolve service of type. Microsoft extension. This is something new that I don't understand. I already have here. I just enable this first. Uh, yeah,
So it's a
hey guys, what happened to you? Why are you giving me error? Are you greedy enough not to allow me to create a migration?
patterns. I
I am in the infrastructure.
try. Try it.
Add migration is the right command.
And it's gonna, yeah.
Search this in Google. What is this? I think Google know everything about this.
I know the term. Why are you using Doodle inside of Doodle?
I think it's not creating the
Migration
it's,
because
it's not creating the migration because it cannot see the config file. So we
so you
just
will
environment
add
current
it
root path.
and it will
Um,
work. You think?
we can set the path. I think it's the one. So just setting settings. Straight to setting now. Will it work? Still the same. What's the configuration file?
It says that still in it's still under infrastructure data that Thomas DB contents.
Guys, I cannot figure out this problem for now. So I will just post this video and will continue to the next video. Was
Part
how
two. Goodbye.
how I gonna fix this. So yeah, it's the first time that I encounter this problem, and yeah, we'll try to look what's the solution for this in the next video, guys. So for now, guys, stay awesome and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Hey, my son is disturbing me. So yeah, thank you guys for listening and I hope you learned something. Stay awesome, guys. Goodbye. Bye for now.
Hey, and